What is going on, guys? We are back playing some more Surviving with Immersive Engineering. And today, guys, we are going to be setting up the Garden Cloche, which is an automated farming block that is offered by Immersive Engineering and is extremely simple and useful to set up. Now, I assume when you're setting this up with Immersive Engineering, it's probably going to be to make biodiesel. If you're not doing it to make biodiesel, eventually you probably will. You're going to need to make plant oil and ethanol, which is going to require seeds and then things like apples or sugarcane to make both of these. And so it's a lot of automated farming that you need to do, but this block makes it very simple. And luckily for us, it's actually not a multi-block structure like some of the bigger ones, like the crusher we just set up. It's a simple crafting one. There's a couple inputs, a couple outputs that we're going to go over, but all in all, it makes automated farming very simple, and you will need very few of these with how efficient they are. So what we're going to be doing today is using it to farm some industrial hemp seeds. I know I had mentioned a couple episodes ago, I think it was either 1 or 2, since we're on episode 3 right now, but that we wanted to get the fiber to make windmills because people have been asking about that compared to the water wheel efficiency, so we'll go over that later, but also to insulate wires. Now, I don't know why they're not zapping me. They were zapping me before, and power is going through these, and I'm not getting zapped, so I don't really know what determines if they're going to zap you or not. But yeah, we were getting zapped in one of the previous episodes whenever we touch the wires. So we're going to insulate those on the off chance that my, freakish grounded character starts getting zapped by electricity again. But yeah, so without further ado, we will jump into the crafting for today's episode. So to make the Garden Cloche itself, and one side note, yes, I did look up how to pronounce that word. I know a lot of people in the videos pronounce it Cloche. It's pronounced Cloche, apparently, thanks to a lot of different websites on Google, because look at that word. It looks so weird. You just know when you say that word, you're going to mispronounce it. So for the sake of all of you, I thought I would look up how to say it. So to make this, we need some treated wood planks, some glass, a vacuum tube, and an iron mechanical component. Now, pretty much everything is pretty simple here except the vacuum tube, which requires the engineer's workbench and an engineer's blueprint. So, first things first, we need to make the workbench, which is a crafting table, a treated wood fence, and a treated wood plank. So over here, we should have some of our wood. We have some extra treated wood, and I think we have some more wood up here. And then I don't know, I guess I did not put creosote in one of those, but they should have creosote buckets over here. Just ready to go. Nope, we want to dump that up here. So we'll make some treated wood. I think it was, right, we do 8 around, and then there we go. Treated wood planks, and another set. So that should be more than enough for what we're going to be doing today. And so we can go all the way back through. We'll need 2 for this, but go to the vacuum tube, the workbench, and we'll make, I guess, the treated wood fences. We got to do this real quick. So this will be enough. If I could actually click things properly. Oh my gosh, okay. We need to sleep then. And I can't hit him because he's in all the sugarcane. Well, we will sleep so that we don't get interrupted with crafting again, although I was fumbling around in that crafting grid for quite some time. There we go. So we have the treated wood fences. We're going to make our nice crafting table right there, and we do this across the top, that, and we have the engineer's workbench. So now that we have this, we can plop it down, and I think we'll drop it down inside the base somewhere. We'll put it down right here for now. It's got pretty cool graphics, and what you will do is you will put the blueprint that you want to use in here, and you can see the different recipes that you can make. There's quite a few in here that you can do, so making blueprints makes it a little bit easier to kind of, quickly craft these, and certain things require it. So a lot of these are for like the weapons and bullets and stuff, but we do need to use it today for that one piece. So if we look back here, go through it again, the blueprint we need is the crafting components blueprint. And if we look here, there's the metal press molds, crafting components, and common projectiles. So we need iron, aluminum, copper, 3 pieces of paper, and 3 pieces of lapis. So lapis, and then iron, copper, and aluminum, or whatever. Aluminium, aluminum, however you want to say it. I'm not going to judge. And we should have some sugarcane in here. I pronounced most things correct in today's episode, so I feel like that is really what we should be focusing on. Okay, so we now have the blueprint, and if we take a look again, I know we're hopping back into this a lot as to what we need. We need a copper wire, piece of redstone, a nickel plate, and a piece of glass. So we have the piece of glass in here. We have a copper wire coil there. And then we need the nickel plate, which we can hammer out there. And we have the copper right here, so we'll hammer this out. Then we will shear it up, get the wire. We will hammer this down into the nickel plate, and we will grab the last piece of redstone and then hop inside, craft it up real quick, and we will be on our way. Now, I have never actually tried. I don't know. Yeah, you can't shift click it in there. So we'll do this, and we will do that, and we will pull out our 3 vacuum tubes. So we have these, really the only complex component used in this. So we need more glass, treated wood planks, and an iron mechanical component. So we'll get 4 pieces of iron. Surprisingly, I actually think we're out of glass, so we'll just cook that in here. So we got our treated wood planks, and the iron mechanical component requires a piece of copper. So we will craft these like that. That was how you make it, right? Nope, I put that in the side. There we go. Thought I was crazy for a second there. So once this glass is done cooking down, we'll have everything we need. I'm pretty sure I'm not missing a piece of glass in here. So some things I guess I can talk about while we wait. I did get up to level 30. As you can see, I did a fair bit of mining. So didn't get many diamonds, but we did a fair bit of mining. And I did some enchanting on my pickaxe, because we're going to be clearing out a lot of the area in this base. I did clear out a little bit more, but I have yet to start moving stuff. I want to make this a super big area inside the mountain and go with the idea that you guys suggested of doing sort of like a 1920s industrial sort of factory. I think that would be really cool once we start having more things to actually automate in here, like automated steel production, things like that, the biodiesel, all of that will look really cool once we can get it automated in there. So yeah, I did the enchanting on that. A lot of mining, obviously did a ton of sugarcane farming, so a lot of things happened. So now we have the garden cloche, and really the only other couple things that we're going to need is going to be a fluid pump, because it is going to require water, and this is pretty easy to make. It's going to require, we grab out some copper and some iron, so we're going to have to make some iron plates. So let's grab that. We'll get 3 of those. And I'm pretty sure we're going to have to make a lot more. So we're going to need 4 for this, and then, so we're going to need 10 total. So hammer is getting a little bit low, but shouldn't be too bad. So we got that. We'll get our iron mechanical component, like so. And then we have the 3 plates left. So there we go. We have our fluid pump. Now, this is something you really don't need to cover super in depth. It's a pretty simple block. It can transport fluids, I believe, without RF. From tank to tank, and it does it pretty fast, 5 times faster than a pipe. Not that you would really notice a ton, but then it also has the ability to accept RF and pump fluids like liquid and lava, or water and lava into something. And so because we are going to need water for the actual farming, we're going to be using this. This one does take a little bit of RF, so while the garden cloche itself takes a max of 8 RF per tick, you are going to have to use some water or some energy to pump in the water itself if you're going to be using the fluid pump. And then other than that, I think we're pretty much good to go. We're not going to automate any fertilizer stuff coming in today, but what I will need is to fill up another one of these buckets with water, and then we're going to figure out where everything's going in here. So I'd like to put it down over here, and I think we're going to have to clear this wall out 1 or 2 more blocks, just because we need room to actually put down the pump, which I want to make it so that we can hook up a couple of these in a row, because they do have automated output out the front. And I want to make it so that if we eventually end up farming a ton of stuff, we can have all the outputs going to sort of the same area. So I'd like to have them next to each other. It makes powering them a lot easier, and we will have to go make some copper wires and stuff to set up the powering and whatnot, but not super concerned about that right now until we figure out the placement of everything so that we can understand what we're going to be doing with the connectors and relays. So I think we want to have the fluid pump going down right here, and we want to have the garden cloche going down over 1. But actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to pick this back up, and we are going to put it in the wall, and we're going to run the water down here. And the reason I'm doing that is because we'll put down the garden cloche right here, and if you look at it, you can put the power in on this side, the other side, which is, you know, blocked by the wall. You can put it in on the top up there, and then the front is going to be where the items come out, and you have the ability to turn redstone signals on right here. But then in the back is going to be where you input the fluid. And I guess we can break this block so you can see. So that's where you're going to input the fluid. I believe you can input stuff on the bottom too, fluids and items, but we don't really need to worry about automating it because once you put a seed in there, along with whatever block it needs to grow on that we'll discuss in a bit, then you don't have to re-input stuff. So, starting things out, we already talked about how the power is going to go in. It can go in the top, which is what we're going to do today, or it can go in the sides, so the left side or the right side. The items are going to come out the front middle side right here. The redstone signal can be put on the front bottom, and you can input water on the back or the bottom. Now when you go into it, you can see in the UI you have the ability to put 4 buckets of water in here. You have a fertilizer, which you can put in this little slot down here. Things like bone meal have a 1.25 multiplier. Things like fluxed phytogro from thermal expansion have a 2 times multiplier. They get used up pretty slowly, so it's not actually the worst idea in the world if you have a mob farm or certain things to put a little bit of bone meal over here. Now in these 2 slots in the center of the UI here with the actual cloche, which is the name for the protective cover that goes over this, you are going to put the seeds in the top or whatever you're growing, and whatever they have to grow on the bottom. So if they need to grow on sand, you put sand there. If they need dirt, which is the most common, you put dirt there. You can put water there, really anything you need. And then the outputs are going to go in this 2x2 area over here. And so if it doesn't have an automated output, it can still keep functioning until these are full. And then the power is right here. So it's got a capacity of 16,000 IF. And so it uses 8 IF per tick. So not too much power. So what we'll do, and we are going to have to power this fluid pump. So we'll have to figure out what we're doing about that and how we're going to kind of hook stuff up to the top because it's not going to be very pretty. I wanted to have it inlaid into the wall because I want to run the water behind all these. So putting it like that, and then we'll put like the output on the side here by using the wrench or by using the hammer. But yeah, so I wanted to kind of have it like that. But yeah, so we have the output there. We'll hook this up to the back. So we'll grab our fluid pipes and we'll just wire it, or I guess pipe it to the back. And then out the front, I do eventually want to put a chest, and we'll have to make really quickly a lever to throw on here. So we have our lever, we can turn it on and off, because eventually we're going to want to stop this thing from running, because it goes very fast. So we'll put our dirt down in there. You can see the dirt actually appears in the UI. If we were to put a bucket of water down there, well, it gets an error. But you can put pretty much, I think you can probably put whatever you want there. Even if it's not something you can farm stuff on, but you have it update, and it actually will update even if it's not going to function. So even if you put something in there that's not going to grow on whatever the bottom block is, it will render it out, it just won't actually go. So we put our seeds in there, and you can actually see it. It has super cool animations. I think this is one of the coolest looking blocks that Immersive Engineering actually offers, which is saying a lot because all the blocks in this mod are super cool. But yeah, so what we need to do now is come over here, and we need to get our water placed down under this. I can't remember actually if with these you need infinite water. I think you do. I think Mechanism is the only mod that the pump no longer pulls up water from the actual infinite source below it, which was an interesting update. That was a really useful one. Not that most people on this video are going to care about Mechanism. But yeah, so we now cover that up, and it looks decently clean. So now it's a matter of getting power over here. So we're going to need 2 low voltage connectors that we have to make and a couple relays. And I think we have 4 relays, 3 low voltage connectors, but we are going to need some more low voltage wire coil. So we'll get that. And then eventually we will insulate them. If we look at this, you can see that we can just drag them down, and once we actually have enough of the hemp fiber, we can make some tough fabric, and then we can insulate them. So right now, though, we will just make some of the copper wire. So we will do 4 of them, assuming that our hammer is going to have enough durability left on it to get those done. Eventually, we should really automate that. That might be next episode. I just wanted to do, I feel like there's so much fun stuff to do in this mod that I'm kind of having a hard time picking what to do every episode. So it's, you know, it's difficult sometimes. So if there's stuff that you guys want to see, you can feel free to let me know in the comments so that I don't have this, you know, internal crisis every time. You know, this is the unfortunate part. You can't get up on this thing. So we got to throw down some dirt to actually get up there. We're not tall enough. Okay, so We're going to throw, oh, I got to jump and shift click it. So there we go. So this is how we'll hook this up. And I'm thinking what we might do is just this over here. We'll put down our connector right there. And maybe we'll put this right here. Connect those and connect that so that it looks decently clean. I know it's not the most efficient, but really, guys, this stuff is not expensive. Okay, so now it's zapping me. Nice. Wait, what? Is it because this already has like power in it and this one's charging up? Okay, well, now we're seeing a reason why I need to insulate these. I don't know why these are not zapping me. Okay, well, now they are. Cool. I guess I shouldn't have wanted that, but they're doing their job. So this one, we did set that to output. So I think all we need is to do one more lever to actually turn on the pump over here. And it is now getting water. Now, when water goes in, you do, I believe, get a little bit of a fertilizer addition when it first flows in, and then it goes down until the next water flows in. But what you can see right now is it's actually growing through its stages. And once it's done, you get some industrial hemp fiber and industrial hemp seeds. These stay in there as the base ones. We got some power going here. And if we look, we should be able to see how much power we are using up over here. So not too bad, staying pretty consistent. Yeah, not too bad. This one's staying full. So not too bad on power, all things considered. This does not use much water at all. And if we were to throw some bone meal in there, which I will show you guys because I think we should have some bones out here. Have I picked up any bones from any guys? I have not. Well, it's always because I'm fighting skeletons when I come back from mining and my inventory is completely full. But okay, well, there's none around us. So unfortunately, we will not get to see any fertilizer today. But if you were to use fertilizer, you would put it in this slot down here. And much like the water did when it flowed in, you would get the boost right over here. And it would slowly go down. And once it's at the bottom, it will consume another. And you get the multiplier of 1.25 using a lot of different ones that you could get. Fertilizer from forestry, I believe, is 1.25. Bone meal is 1.25. And then I think, stuff like Phytogro might be 1.25 or 1.5, and Fluxed Phytogro is the best you are ever going to get. But as you can see, we're getting a ton of stuff in here. So the last thing that we're going to do for today is put a chest in front of it. Now we have the option of using conveyor belts and whatnot, but there's not a huge purpose for using those right now, just because, it's a little bit too fancy for really what we're trying to do at the moment. We'll make it nice and fancy later on when we're making the whole factory thing, but all we do is plop the chest down right here, and you can see it kicks all of the stuff out that output in the front to us, and it goes really, really fast. I mean, look at all this stuff that we have right now. We have plenty of hemp fiber to do, whatever we really need to do, and so a couple of these, and your biodiesel production is kicking off. Everything is all set to go, and so I think these are just all around amazing machines. They look great. They work perfectly. So honestly, one of my favorite things. I would highly advise you guys to make this pretty early on in your world. And I think that's going to be it for today, guys. A pretty simple machine at that, though. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will talk to you later.
Standing in a glass bowl at the end of a black hole, cold, lost and upside down.